up, students? Welcome to week 16. I'm so glad you're here with me today. I wish we could meet together in person, but I'm very glad that you're taking the time to watch this video. Can you believe we're already at week 16? Crazy. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. We're going to go ahead and pray and get started on our poem. If you don't have your papers, go ahead and print them out. I put them on the Signal chat, so your parents should have access to them. It will help you as you check things off as we go. So let's go ahead and pray, and then we'll get started with our poem. Dear Lord, thank you so much for each student watching this video. Thank you for our class that you've put together and for all the fun we've had this year. Lord, I pray that as the students watch this video, that they would learn what you want them to learn. Lord, I pray that they wouldn't be distracted or grumble or complain, but that they would have a joyful attitude and do their work as unto you. I pray that you would teach us, lead us, grow us, and help us to love you more. We commit this time to you in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Okay, let's get started on our poem. February twilight. I stood beside a hill, smooth with new-laid snow. A single star looked out from the cold evening glow. There was no other creature that saw what I could see. I stood and watched the evening star as long as it watched me. By Sarah Teasdale. Okay, so our grammar rule for today is verb phrase. Last week we talked about prepositional phrases, which start with, shockingly, a preposition. Wow. And so now verb phrases, as we can see here, also include verbs. Let's take a look at this. Grammar rule, verb phrase. A verb phrase includes a main verb and its helping verb. Okay, so a verb phrase includes what? Main verb action or linking, and its helping verb. And we've been singing our songs about helping verbs. So this will help you, if you memorize those helping verbs, it will help you to remember to be on the lookout for verb phrases as you do your writing and your grammar and things like that. So let's look at these two sentences here. The snow has been falling for 3 days straight. Wow, wouldn't that be nice? I would love for it to snow for 3 days straight. Okay, the snow has been falling for 3 days straight. Where is our verb in this sentence? Well, our subject is snow. The what has been what? The snow has been falling. Falling is our verb in this sentence. To fall is an action, right? So we know a verb phrase includes a main verb and its helping verb. Do we have some helping verbs here? Yes, the snow has been falling. Has been falling is our verb phrase. Now, just for fun, in this sentence, we also have a prepositional phrase. Any ideas where the prepositional phrase is? If you said for 3 days straight, you are correct. The snow has been falling for 3 days straight. For is a preposition. Starts with a preposition and ends with a a noun. So, the snow has been falling, verb phrase, prepositional phrase for 3 days straight. Okay, let's do this next one here, looking for the verb phrase. My friend will arrive tonight after dinner. Who or what is this sentence about? My friend, right? That's the subject. So then what is my friend going to do? They will arrive. Okay, so there's your verb in the sentence. Do we have a verb phrase? Yes, because will is a helping verb. My friend will arrive tonight. Oh, look at that. Another prepositional phrase, after dinner. Starts with a preposition, ends with a noun or a pronoun. My friend will arrive. There's your verb phrase. So, to recap, what is a verb phrase? A verb phrase includes a main verb, action or linking, and its helping verb. Good job, guys. Okay, good job, guys, with that grammar rule. Looks like we'll be ready to move on to spelling. And wait a minute, what is that? Oh my gosh, it's Fred. He's calling me. Hello, Fred. Wait, Fred, you've got to slow down. Okay, no, I can't understand what you're saying. Slow down, hold on. Wait, your mom wants you to accept the challenge of eating more vegetables. Okay, I mean, vegetables are good for you. That sounds fine. You accept the challenge of eating more vegetables, except for eating lima beans? I mean, that seems fair. Okay, Fred. Okay, look, I gotta go. I'm teaching a class. Okay, bye. Fred. He's so crazy, right? Now let's think about what he said. Accept and accept. Let's see if we can figure out the difference here. Okay, so here we have accept and accept. What's the difference, and how do you know which one to use when? They sound so similar, right? Well, Fred said he would accept the challenge of eating more vegetables, except for eating lima beans. So, is he accepting the challenge? Or is he accepting the challenge? Which one's which? Well, if you guessed this one for accept, you are correct. Fred will accept the challenge of eating more lima beans. Well, sorry. No, he doesn't accept the challenge to eat more lima beans. He accepts the challenge. He will accept the challenge of eating more vegetables. Okay? Accept. Fred accepts. Now, what do we use for accept? Is it the same? No. EX, accept. Eating more lima beans. How can you remember? How can you remember the difference and which one to use when? Well, part of it is this is just one of those things that you just gotta memorize. But also, one thing that I like to think about is the accept with the X kind of communicates like, X, I don't want this. You're excluded. And so that helps me to think about he's going to eat all these vegetables, but a big X over those lima beans, except eating more lima beans. So accept and accept. That's the difference. Way to go, Fred. We wish you well on your vegetable eating journey. Okay, so now let's turn our attention to spelling. Our little lesson for the week, we are talking about ooh and ooh. O-O and U-I. So let's look at this little poem here by Mr. Andrew Pudewa. He says, saying ooh, O-O comes in the middle of words, except for to, woo, and zoo. Ooze, kangaroo, and voodoo. So notice those come at the end of the words, not in the middle of the words. UI, ooh, comes in the middle of a very few words, these are all the exceptions, which can be fitted into one jingle. So if it's in the middle of the word, it's O-O, ooh, except for these words. Let's look at this little jingle here. The recruit who worked on a sluice, who loved French cuisine, and who was then in pursuit of my sister's suitor, spilled fruit juice and ruined his suit and suitcases. What nuisance that he had nothing suitable to wear on the cruise. So that's a very silly little jingle, but hopefully you notice there that recruit is not spelled R-E-C-R-O-O-T, or suit is not spelled S-O-O-T. Fruit is not spelled F-R-O-O-T. You use U-I for those words. And just in case you were wondering, a sluice is a sliding gate or device for controlling the flow of water. So there you have it. It's a kind of a word that they use in England. So that is our lesson for today, when to use OO and when to use UI for the OO sound. You can go ahead and number your papers 1 through 14 for your spelling test, and then we will get started. Number 1, boot. Asher put on his boot to go play in the mud. Boot. Number 2, fruit. Would you like a piece of fruit? Number 3, juice. I like to drink apple juice. Juice. Number 4, noodles. Do you like to eat noodles. Number 5, kangaroo. Have you ever seen a kangaroo hop around? Number 6, cruise. I would love to go on a cruise. Number 7, suit. He put on his best suit for his wedding day. Number 8, raccoon. Did you see the raccoon going through the trash? Raccoon. Number 9, moonlight. We couldn't see anything outside at night except for the beautiful glowing moonlight. Number 10, afternoon. Afternoon. I'm sorry, buddy, I'll have to do that this afternoon. Number 11, suitable. Suitable. I'm afraid that isn't suitable for you. Suitable. Number 12, cuisine. Cuisine. What is your favorite type of cuisine? I think mine might be Italian. Cuisine. Number 13, foolproof. Foolproof. This plan is so good that it's foolproof. Number 14, nuisance. Nuisance. The little toddler was so annoying that he was a nuisance. Okay, so here are your answers. Go ahead and check your work, pause the video, and see how you did. Notice how OO for the oo is in the middle of the word, except for fruit, and juice, and cruise, and suit, and suitable, and cuisine, and nuisance. So these are good things to memorize, to put in your brain. Remember, there are no real rules in English spelling. It's just one of those things that you have to memorize the order of the letters. So check your work and then replay the video as we get into IEW. Okay, great job, you guys. Well done on that. We are going to go ahead and move on to IEW. So grab your books and go ahead and turn to page 196. So while you're doing that, let me prep our lesson. In the last unit, we learned how to summarize multiple references, which is where you were to read all of those paragraphs that they gave you in this book, come up with your topics, and then write your papers based on those topics. So you're not summarizing the entire paper, but you are picking topics that you find interesting and writing your paper based on that. I'm going to make another video on that for those of you who weren't able to be in class with us on Monday, because I talked about how to do this when preparing for Faces of History. It is a game changer when writing a paper or preparing really for any kind of presentation. As you get older, if you get asked to speak on a topic, or just for your Faces of History or for moving forward into high school, it's super important to be able to know how to research, how to gather information, how to organize that information, and how to write a paper. So I'm going to make a separate video for that. If you're struggling or if you weren't there on Monday, please make sure you take the time to watch it because I really think it will help you. But we are moving on from that topic today, and we are in Unit 7, which is inventive writing. Think about the word to invent. What comes to your mind? What comes to my mind is Thomas Edison inventing the light bulb, or the Wright brothers inventing airplanes and flying. So, inventive means to create. This is from your own brain, from your own mind, from your own heart, stories that you have to tell, information that you know. You're not going to be reading a paragraph and then making a keyword outline based on something like content that he's already giving you. This comes from you. Okay, so that's what makes it kind of fun, is that everybody's papers are going to be so different and so unique. So we are on water part 1. Next week we'll do water part 2. Now, as I said, we're not doing precepts for the month of February, so I won't get to read your papers unless you email them to me, which if you want to, I would love that. Otherwise, please plan to come and read your water paper our first week back together in March, okay? I would love it if everybody had a paper about water, and I will make sure we have time to read those papers, okay? So, as you see here on page 196, it says inventive writing, body paragraphs. In Unit 7, you will write compositions that begin with an introduction and end with a conclusion. Look at the 5-paragraph model below. 3 body paragraphs plus an introduction and a conclusion. The model can be adapted by simply changing the number of body paragraphs. So as you see there kind of faded out is number 1, introduction, which is your attention getter, background, and you state your topics, what you're going to be talking about. Then you have your body paragraphs. Paragraph 2, 3, and 4, you have topic A, B, and C. You could have like 20 body paragraphs. I mean, that'd be a little long for an essay, but it'd probably be a book at that point. But you could have 2 body paragraphs, 1 body paragraph, or you could have as many as you like. And then paragraph 5 is the conclusion. You restate your topics, which one you think is the most important and why. And then your last sentence, you use words, keywords from your last sentence to create your title. So the way that IEW tells you to write your papers is to start with your body paragraphs. And in this assignment, he wants you to do 2 body paragraphs about water, okay? So this week, you're going to do your 2 paragraphs about water. And then next week, you're going to write your introduction and your conclusion paragraphs, okay? So let's continue reading. Your entire composition should be about one subject. Once you know what the subject of the composition is, you determine how many body paragraphs to write, unless your mom or dad tells you otherwise, or your teacher. Each body paragraph equals 1 topic. When you follow this model, write from the inside out, beginning with the body paragraphs. Sometimes you are given a prompt and asked to write a response. Where do you find the information for your paper? When learning to write from the blank page, basically without him giving you all of the words are coming from inside of you, one technique to help develop content is to ask yourself questions. In Unit 5, when you wrote from a series of pictures, you began with brain helping questions. You will again use those questions in Unit 7. The ability to ask questions and develop answers is the core skill required for all inventive writing. So, look at this prompt. This is what you're going to be writing your paper about. Ancient civilizations developed around water because water is essential for life. Plants, animals, and humans depend upon water. Without it, life would not exist. In addition to drinking water, people use water for sanitation, travel, and recreation. Water is just as important today as it was in ancient times. What do you like about water? Whether it be water in the ocean, a lake, a river, or in your home from a faucet or a hose. Okay, so turn the page 197 up at the top, notes from the brain. When learning to write from the blank page, one technique to help come up with content is to ask yourself questions. Ask yourself questions about the prompt. So, based on the prompt that I just read, what is the subject for this lesson? What are you supposed to write your paper about? Write that down. If you wrote water, the answer is correct. Yes, you are supposed to write your paper about water. Okay? Possible topics include, so if you were in class on Monday, you saw me do this on the board when I talked about lions. And we thought about all the different things you could write a paper about lions, about habitat, where they live on the map, what do they eat, what kinds are there, what is their schedule like, are they endangered, like we thought about all these different things about lions that we could write our paper about. And then when you go to the library and you open your book, you just look for those topics that you're writing your paper about. You don't have to read every single thing there is to know about lions, because that would take a lifetime, right? So here, possible topics include, for water, what comes to your mind? What do you think about water? Do you have a fun memory associated with water, or maybe a scary memory associated with water? Do you drink water? Do you think that's important? Is it important to have clean water? Think about the different kinds of water in your life. What water surrounds you? Write down some possible topics that you could write your paragraphs about. How many body paragraphs do you need to complete the assignment? I am telling you 2. Your parents might tell you 1, or they might tell you 3. But I'm telling you 2. That's what I'm expecting from each student. Okay? The topic sentence of each paragraph will state a specific form or use of water that you enjoy. On the keyword outline, indicate the topics on the topic lines and follow this pattern. Subject, topic, plus one more word about the topic, okay? If you chose one topic, like drinking water, then you will have one paragraph. If you chose 2 topics, drinking water and the beach, you'll have 2 paragraphs, okay? So, on the lines under the first Roman numeral, describe the first topic by asking yourself questions. Brain helping questions are listed on the keyword outline. And then he has a bunch of questions listed there to help get your brain thinking. When and where do you use water this way? Who is with you? Why do you enjoy it? Etc., etc. So you can use that list as you try to think through your keyword outline, okay? Moving on to page 198, you can see there he has a spot for you to go ahead and write your keyword outline, topic A and topic B. So in my example that I did, paragraph 1, drinking water, paragraph 2, the beach, I would do water, because that's my subject. On this top line, topic A, water, comma, then my topic, drinking water, and then one more word, to describe this topic. What am I going to focus on with that? Drinking water. Am I going to talk about where it comes from? Why it's important? Sanitation, hydration, health. Where am I going to go with that? So I think I'm going to do drinking water. Okay, water, drinking water, hydration. Okay, the importance for water for our bodies. And then my keyword outline is going to be all about that. Basically, I'm going to think through 5-6 points about why I think drinking water is important for hydration. Then topic B, we're going to start again on that first line, water. And then I chose the beach, water, beach. And then I'm going to do the word fun because I think the beach is fun. And then I have lines 1 through 7 where I can write a keyword outline for myself of why I think the beach is fun. Maybe I have a fun memory, or I have lots of fun memories about the beach. So I could talk about those. I could talk about how I've seen other people have fun at the beach, or I've heard about it. Try to tell people some ideas of fun things they could do at the beach. So that's where you can put in whatever is. I mean, we all have stories to tell, right? We all have different experiences, different memories. And so that's what makes writing so unique and so special, is because no one else is you. No one else has your story, your voice. And so that's why we want to hear from you, your stories. On the side there on 198, you see that question mark, and it says who, what, when, where, why, how feel, problems, solutions, best thing, worst thing, value, significance, meaning, examples, description. All of those are to get you thinking. So if you start crying and you're like, I don't know what to write, okay, take a deep breath, maybe get a glass of water, hydrate, get some fresh air, start afresh and go, okay. All writers get stuck. It's normal. It's okay. Just don't give up. And then come back to this page and start asking yourself questions. Like, what are some of the problems with the beach? What are some of the solutions with the beach? How do I feel about it? What do I think about it? Is it important? Start asking yourself some of those questions, and then use the tools that you have with keyword outlines to write yourself a keyword outline. And then you will take that keyword outline and transition to writing your papers. Okay? So I hope all of that makes sense. They are going over a couple stylistic techniques on page 199 and page 200. So let's go ahead and turn to 199. In this lesson, you will learn another sentence opener, the number 5 clausal opener. The clausal opener is an adverb clause placed at the beginning of a sentence. The clausal opener begins with one of these words: when, while, where, as, since, if, although, because. Okay, this should look familiar. The because clause dress up is called the www.asia clause. So this is combined with www.asia.be clause: when, while, where, as, since, if, although, because. So you can start your sentence with one of these words, like, when the waves surge, we race across the water. Or we race. So instead of saying we race across the water when the waves surge, you take that and you make it just a little more interesting. You add a little bit more depth and dimension to your sentence by starting with when the waves surge, we race across the water. Okay, so then take a note. www.asia.be clause that begins a sentence is called a clausal opener. A www.asia.be clause placed in the middle or end of a sentence is called a www.asia.be dress up. Difference. Okay, you can start a sentence with it, that's an opener. You can put it in the middle of your sentence or end your sentence with it, that's just a dress up. Okay, big difference. Number 3, a www.asia.be clause contains a subject and a verb. When the waves surge, waves, subject, surge, verb, we race across the water. Okay, you can't just leave that out and say when the, and have nothing there. Well, that doesn't make any sense. When the doesn't make sense. And then the www.asia.b clause is added to a sentence that is already complete. When the waves surge, we race across the water. We race across the water is a complete sentence. You don't need when the waves surge. It adds some description, but when the wave, we race across the water stands alone as a complete sentence, okay? If you use this as an opener, you need to follow the entire clause with a comma. So if you notice there on the page, when the waves surge, comma, we race across the water. But when it's in the middle of the sentence, there is no comma needed, okay? So write a sentence with a number 5 clausal opener. Remember to insert a comma, okay? So use one of these words: when, while, where, as, since, if, although, because. You can make it a silly sentence if you want to, whatever you want to say. If, I'm going to start mine with if, okay? If the fish are not biting, comma, we simply enjoy the beauty of the river, okay? So you could just say, we simply enjoy the beauty of the river, but adding that little www.asia.b clause really helps paint a picture of what's going on, right? So go ahead and take a minute to think of your own clausal opener. Use a comma, and then, so pause this video, write your opener there on your paper, and then press play, and we're going to finish up this lesson. Almost done. Okay, so this last page here, page 200, write sentences that can be used in your body paragraph using a prepositional opener, an ly adverb opener, and a www.asia.b opener. And then you have your very short sentence opener, your attention getter, okay? Water is important. Something like that. The waves crashed. There's so many very short sentences you can use. So those are your dress ups that you need to include in your paper, in your paragraphs. And then also you've got some vocabulary words this week. You have the words glisten, feet, deftly, and deplete. Please try to use as many of these as you can in your paper. These are great vocabulary words for you to know and use. I use pretty much all of these on a regular basis except deftly. I had never heard of that one before. But try to use them in your paper if you can. On page 201, you will see here your composition checklist, all of the things that you are supposed to include. Remember, you're writing 2 body paragraphs, inventive paragraphs about water. Okay? Remember that you're asking yourself questions. What do I think about water? What do I want to write about with water? There's so many different, you could talk about rain. You could talk about creeks, rivers. There's so many different things, so many different directions you could go. You could talk about water parks, water as fun, like sprinklers or slip and slides or whatever. So have a good time with this. Also water is so important for life. If we didn't have water, we would die. So you could go so many different directions with this, and I'm really excited to see what you come up with. So this week, 2 body paragraphs. Next week, introduction and conclusion. And please reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm happy to help you, and I hope you have fun. Enjoy this process. And as far as Faces of History goes, you should pretty much have chosen your historical person or event. Once you have chosen, you have selected your person, please put in the Signal chat who you're going to be, so that all the girls are not Cleopatra and all the boys are not Alexander the Great. We have some variety. I would love for there to be a Cleopatra, and I would love for there to be an Alexander the Great, so don't be scared by me saying that. I'm just saying, go ahead and name it and claim it while you have a chance. And then start gathering your resources. We are having a hard time finding things at our library that would work. Maybe you guys have already taken it all. But we are trying to gather our resources, and so we're having to look on like thrift books and things like that. It's just taking some time to gather that content to make sure it's not historical fiction, but it's actually like a reliable source. So go ahead and start gathering your sources. Remember, you need 3 source texts, and then select your person and put it in the Signal chat. So that's it for me. Happy week 16, and let me know if you have any questions, if I can help you at all. See you next week.